while posting or looking for a cover photo for um, the video I'm currently uploading, um, which is I'm calling it Flat Bottom Becky versus Big Booty LaQuisha. I happen to find a lot of memes of black men dating. Well, the joke or the meme or whatever would be you would consider it is black men. Why black men go date fat white women? So I know I've came across this before, and I know I just literally had to go and research the obesity statistics to kind of shut down this myth that black men have a fetish or a thing for fat white women. Now, let me just put this out here because things that I see, I consider to be fact. Why? Because I can look at them and see that they're tangible. It's something I could reach out and touch. Not that I would be touching random people, but it's something I can clearly see. It's clearly in front of me. Now, I decided to look up the obesity stats, and I scrolled down, and I was trying to see how they broke it down between male and female. Now, the black race is by far the most obese. That's male and female combined. When you look at the statistics, the percentages, the numbers are almost 80%, a little over 80% of the total black population being obese. So now you scroll down, it kind of breaks it down by women versus men. Okay. So non Hispanic black men, and I will definitely put um, the link to where I'm getting these statistics below in the description box. You can go you can look at these yourself. Um, so it says obesity affected over 1 in 3 non-Hispanic black men. So that's just black men because there's black Hispanics and white Hispanics. So they're not Hispanic black men. 38%. So 38% of black men, including myself, I am in that 38%. I am fat, obese. Hispanic men, 37%. So they're 1% behind us. So we're kind of right there, neck and neck. Non-Hispanic white men, white men, are 34.7%, and about 1 in 8, 12.6% non-Hispanic Asian men, which I didn't know you could be a Hispanic Asian, but apparently this Hispanic thing is very important that it has to be thrown out with every description. But non-Hispanic Asian men are only 12.6% obese. Okay? Over half of non-Hispanic black women, 57.2% of black women are obese. Let me read that again. Over half of non Hispanic black women, 57.2%, almost half of Hispanic women, 46.9%. So even though almost 50% of Hispanic women are obese, there's still less. There's still more deviation between Hispanic women and black women versus Hispanic men and black men, which is 1% difference. This is, let's round it up. So from 46 to 47%, almost a 10% gap from Hispanic women to black women. Non-Hispanic white women, 38.2% of white women are fat or obese, and about 1 in 8, 12.4% non Hispanic Asian women had obesity. About 1 in 14 non Hispanic black men, 7.2%. About 1 in 18 Hispanic men, 5.4%. And 1 in 18 non Hispanic white men, 5.6%, were considered to have extreme obesity. About 1 in 6 non Hispanic black women, 16.8%. About 1 in 12 Hispanic women, 8.7%. And about 1 in 10 non-Hispanic white women, 9.7%, were considered to have extreme obesity. And I guess there is no extreme obesity in non-Hispanic Asian women. They're not even listed. Matter of fact, Asians don't even have extreme obesity, which I find very odd. That I thought the sumo culture, wrestling culture, or whatnot. But so it's very interesting, don't you think? That there's this myth out here that somehow black men just love them some fat white women. Oh yeah, when things go wrong, they get them a fat white woman. Yep. When there's literally less fat white women than there are fat black women. Now, where would they get this affinity for fat women in general? If they didn't grow up with a fat black mama. Just saying. Because you don't seem to have a problem when you see a skinny black dude. And I've seen a lot of skinny black dudes with these fat, just trying to wear tight clothes to hold all that fat in. I see it. I grew up in Troy. That's like the home of that. Now, I don't have a pony in the race. I don't give a shit. Date who you want to date, fuck who you want to fuck. It don't, at the end of the day, it ain't got nothing to do with where I put my penis. But why does there always have to be this fucking, just this lie that becomes true because it gets repeated so much, especially in the black community? There are more fat black women than any other women on the face of the earth. So if black men have an affinity for fat women, chances are, where do they learn that from? If they like fat white women, and black women like to put hair that mimics or looks like or resembles white women hair, where do you think they get that affinity from? I've seen huge ass black women playing in blonde hair. See, we don't want to talk about this though. We just want to put it all on the men. Like we just do things in a vacuum. Like we didn't grow up seeing and normalizing what black women love to say black men have, which is self-hate because they go date someone outside of their race. Maybe they learn that self-hate from the person who gave them birth because they had self-hate. Because that little boy maybe never saw his mother with her natural hair. Maybe he heard her speak so ill about black features that he felt inside himself it was better to get someone or be with someone who had non-black features. Maybe one day we can have a true, honest dialogue about this instead of just having name calls and shit that just isn't true. Black women, I've been leaving y'all alone. I really ain't have much shit to say about y'all, cause I'm to the point now where I just honestly, I don't give a fuck. But the one thing I do give a fuck about, I give a fuck about truth, and I give a fuck about honesty, because those are the things that I built as the cornerstone of who I am as a man and what I'm trying to instill in all three of my boys. Is to be truthful and to be honest. Black men are 38% fat. 38% of black men are fat. 57.2% of black women are fat. That is almost a 20%. It's a 19% difference. I think if I said any more else, it would take away from the value of the video. So with that being said, I'm gonna put the link in the description. Just to give it some perspective, it goes into what considers obesity. It's about halfway down the page. Um, you'll see something that says estimated age adjusted percentage of U.S. adults with obesity by race. This is a figure from 2000 or stats from 2013 and 2014, something called NHANES data. Once you get to that part, scroll down, read through it. It gets something to child and adolescence youth. Um, I mean, even those statistics are kind of scary too. Um, Everyone's fat. I mean, it's a lot of obesity in the United States, but to just act only only black men date fat white women and all these skinny black women are. I mean, there was another meme that I saw, and amongst all the images that I saw, they had a black dude with a fat white chick. Then they had a skinny, very I would say attractive black woman with a white dude. So you say we get their races worst while they get our or we get the worst females of their race. They get to get the best females of our race. Think about that for a second. See, it's a diss towards us, but really it goes to show where their loyalty really lies. Because if they're so pro black, they so down for the brothers. Why do non-black men get the skinny in shape black woman? But when she's with us, she just is sloppy. Midsection all just looking like smuggling footballs and shit. Maybe someone can answer that question. But at the end of the day, it's all about projection. When they go around and they talk about black men having self hate, no, it's really them that have self hate. When they go around talking about black men dating all these fat white women, it really means if black men dating all these fat black women. There's more. This is the statistics that this is why you kind of gotta look at it in a vacuum, but then look at it and kind of do precepts to it. Even though there are some black folks that date outside of their race, the vast majority date within them and procreate within their own race. Within that own race, over 80%, 38% of black men, 57.2% of black women are obese. Obese. Do you understand that's over 90%? That's over 90% of our fucking entire race, male and female combined, are fucking fat. So how can you sit there and say black men, skinny black men are dating fat white women when over 90% of the black race is fat? All right, I'm done.